When potatoes first arrived in Europe from South America, people refused to eat them, believing they caused severe diseases. It took ingenious historical campaigns to show that this underground tuber could end devastating famines across the continent. Today, junk food processing has given the potato a bad reputation, masking its status as a nutrient-dense whole food. Botanically domesticated over 7,000 years ago in the Andes, potatoes were cultivated to survive extreme mountain climates. Unlike root vegetables, potatoes are specialized underground stems called tubers designed by the plant to store energy. Fact: a medium potato with skin contains around 620 milligrams of potassium, more than an averaged banana. So, what happens biochemically when you consume potatoes, and how can cooking methods completely change their nutritional impact? The secret lies in a molecular transformation known as retrogradation, creating a special nutrient called resistant starch. Let's explore the cellular chemistry of the potato and how it affects your gut, blood sugar, and overall health. Freshly cooked hot potatoes contain easily digestible starches that stomach enzymes rapidly break down into glucose. When eaten hot and mashed, this rapid glucose release gives hot potatoes a high glycemic index. However, as the cooked potato cools, gelatinized amylose molecules realign into dense crystalline polymers. This forms resistant starch type 3, which completely resists enzymatic breakdown in the human small intestine. Instead of raising blood sugar, this resistant starch travels intact straight to the colon, functioning like dietary fiber. In the colon, resistant starch in short-chain fatty acids, primarily butyrate. Butyrate is the primary energy source for colon wall cells, strengthening the intestinal barrier and reducing inflammation. By slowing carbohydrate absorption, cooled potatoes significantly blunt postprandial blood sugar and insulin spikes. Scientific study finding: even if you gently reheat cooled potatoes, a substantial portion of resistant starch remains intact. Beyond starch, the potato skin and outer flesh house the highest concentration of minerals and antioxidant polyphenols. Boiling potatoes whole, with their skin intact, creates a protective physical barrier that prevents vitamin C leaching into water. With 620 milligrams of potassium per medium potato, regular intake helps relax blood vessels and excrete excess sodium. Potatoes also contain chlorogenic acid, a polyphenol. Research links to improved vascular function and metabolic health. In European clinical research measuring the satiety index of common foods, boiled potatoes ranked #1 among all foods tested. This intense satiety effect is driven by high water volume, dietary fiber, and proteinase inhibitor 2 compounds. However, potatoes have a natural biological defense system that requires strict culinary caution. When exposed to light or physical stress, potatoes produce chlorophyll, turning green, and synthesize natural toxins called glycoalkaloids. The two primary toxic glycoalkaloids are solanine and chaconine, concentrated heavily in sprouts' eyes and green skin. Solanine acts as a neurotoxin by inhibiting the enzyme acetylcholinesterase and disrupting intestinal cellular membranes. Ingesting high amounts causes gastrointestinal distress like cramps, nausea, vomiting, and neurological headaches. Important scientific fact: boiling water at 100 degrees Celsius does not destroy solanine, as its degradation threshold is over 170 degrees Celsius. Safety rule: deeply cut away all green areas and sprouts. If a potato is heavily green or tastes bitter, discard it completely. Another critical storage error: putting raw potatoes in the refrigerator below 4 degrees Celsius triggers cold-induced sweetening. When fried at high heat, these excess reducing sugars react with amino acids to form elevated levels of acrylamide. Acrylamide is a chemical compound categorized by food safety authorities as a potential human carcinogen. To prevent cold sweetening and acrylamide formation, store raw potatoes in a dark, cool pantry between 7 to 10 degrees Celsius. Never store potatoes next to onions. Onions emit moisture and ethylene gas, which accelerates potato sprouting. Store them in a breathable paper bag or burlap sack, never in sealed plastic bags where humidity builds up. How you cook potatoes dictates whether they function as a wholesome superfood or an unhealthy calorie bomb. Deep frying at high temperatures drenches potatoes in oxidized fats and drastically reduces vitamin C content. Steaming or boiling whole potatoes with skin retains over 80% of vitamins C and mineral potassium. Oven roasting with a light drizzle of olive oil offers a crispy texture while avoiding excessive unhealthy fats. Preparing a classic potato salad using cooked and cooled potatoes creates the ultimate high-resistant starch dish. For athletes, potatoes provide complex carbohydrates that restock muscle glycogen efficiently without artificial additives. High potassium prevents muscle cramping during prolonged endurance exercise by regulating fluid balance. To lower the glycemic impact further, pair cooled potatoes with non-starchy vegetables and lean protein. Protein and dietary fibers slow gastric emptying, ensuring a slow, steady release of glucose into blood vessels. Pigmented varieties like purple and red potatoes contain anthocyanins, the same potent antioxidants found in blueberries. Anthocyanins help protect blood vessel walls from chronic inflammation and oxidative stress. Potato starch is naturally gluten-free, making it an excellent digestive-friendly thickening agent. For individuals with celiac disease or gluten sensitivity, potatoes offer a safe, wholesome carbohydrate source. The high potassium to sodium ratio supports fluid balance and reduces water retention. Potatoes are also a good source of vitamin B6, essential for neurotransmitter synthesis like serotonin and dopamine. Adequate B6 intake supports nervous system regulation and healthy mood stability. The vitamin C in potatoes enhances the absorption of non-heme iron from plant-based foods eaten in the same meal. Magnesium and phosphorus present in potato flesh contribute to bone matrix mineralization. When prepared scientifically, the potato transforms into a formidable staple for holistic health. Now, let's summarize the ultimate 3-step kitchen rule for enjoying potatoes safely and healthily. Step 1. Inspect before cooking. Trim all sprouts and green patches deeply, or discard if heavily green. Step 2. Store raw potatoes in a dark, dry pantry. Never put raw potatoes in the fridge and keep them away from onions. Step 3. Boil whole with skin. Then chill in the fridge for 24 hours before eating to maximize resistant starch. Boiling whole preserves water-soluble vitamins while keeping fat content near zero. Overnight cooling transforms digestible amylose into gut-nourishing resistant starch polymers. Slice into a refreshing potato salad, drizzled with extra virgin olive oil and fresh herbs. If you prefer warm food, reheat gently at moderate temperature to retain the resistant starch benefits. Enjoy sustained mental clarity and physical energy without the dreaded afternoon blood sugar crash. By applying these simple food science principles, you transform a humble tuber into a nutrition power cell. From ancient Andes mountains to modern nutritional science, the potato remains a true gift of nature. Understand the science, respect the biology, and harness the full power of food science in your daily life. Next time you prepare potatoes, remember the 24-hour cooling technique for maximum gut health benefits. Smart nutrition isn't about eliminating it's about understanding how preparation alters food chemistry. If you enjoyed this scientific breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and share this video to support evidence-based food science.